activities which are affecting the quality of the country's water, posing a lot of risk to the people when they consume it. Dr. Bazana works with the Surface Water and Climate Change Division of the CSIR Water Research Institute. He made this known at a seminar under the theme Ghana's Water Security, Rethinking the Value of Water held in Accra. Dr. Prosper Bazana therefore called for the need to minimize negative activities against water resources so that people can preserve, conserve, and be able to keep it at home and treat them better to secure good health. He further entreated regulatory agencies in the country to work together to ensure that they minimize and regulate activities that are happening on the water bodies to avoid pollution, which in the long run has a dire effect on us.
Some of the key lessons that have emerged from these three of the series of presentations or seminars that have come up is the fact that as a country, it is not the case that we don't have or we lack water resources. We have abundance of water resources. But the problem has to do with its quality for human use. And so the question that we ask is, what are the things that actually polluted, or what are the things that affected the quality of our water resources such that even now we are having a difficulty in having water in its quality state in our homes for use? And the main thing has to do with our human activities. The activities of illegal mining, the activities of our domestic waste that is entering, that we are throwing in about, which are being carried on by runoff when it rains into our water bodies, that is causing problems for treatment of water by responsible institutions like the Ghana Water Company. So it is not the case. We have established here all through the three presentations that Ghana is not a country that is lacking water, but our human activities are affecting the quality of the water that is then posing a lot of health risk to us when we consume them. And so what can we do as people? What we can do is that we need to ensure that we are responsible people, we are responsible citizens. Do not throw away waste indiscriminately, knowing that it will end in water bodies. Our people who are engaged in illegal mining, galamsey to be specific, the chemicals that are emerging from these activities are having a toll on our water resources, not just our health, but also the species or animals that are in water, like our fish. And when we consume them, they have problems for us. Our research is showing that a lot of the problem we are having in terms of kidney failure, in terms of stillborn babies, in terms of babies that are born with different kinds of deformities, are pointing to the fact that our water that we are consuming are polluted. They are filled with chemicals that is causing these harm. So what we can do is to minimize our activities on these water resources so that we can preserve and conserve them and keep them in a form that can help us treat them better so our health can be secured. We are entreating regulatory agencies and institutions in the country. We understand the challenges are there, but challenges are there to be resolved. So let's work as a country, let's work as institutions to ensure that we minimize and regulate activities that are happening on our water bodies so that we don't end up polluting ourselves and killing ourselves in the process. We are entreating our institutions, especially the private sector, to come in. The water is life, and if people don't have it, you can imagine that would happen. And for that reason, we are entreating private sector participation in this area in terms of financing, in terms of helping with research, and in terms of carrying out some of the research outcomes that we have found out, and in helping us implement them on the ground so that people's lives can be better preserved.
There are also other activities that affect water quality. and regulations need to be made for them. Okay, like sanitation.
The director, CSIR Water Research Institute, Professor Mike Yaw Ochnebuana, on his part, called for political and individual support to ensure the security of water bodies, rethink the way people do things concerning the value placed on water, and not the value people place on what they can benefit from the water, but how the water being used is giving people the benefits. He charged Ghanaians to remember that water is life, and once it is out of your system, then you are completely in trouble, saying everybody in the country needs water.
The message I think has been pressed on very well. Now, our what we are looking for now is how we can take this relevant message as a nation and then how we can implement it. And I think that is the main goal that we are looking for. Can we have the political will to support this? Can we have individual people in the country responding to this call for ensuring that there's security of our waters, and that if we can really rethink the way we do things concerning the value we place in water, not the value we place in what we benefit from the water, but how the water that we are using that is giving us all the benefit, how can we ensure that we maintain the integrity of the water like as we came to meet it, so that the generation to come, they will also equally get the same benefit we are getting from the water. So this is what we are calling for as an institute. Let's maintain the integrity of our waters that we can win. Because we must always remember that water is life. Once water is out of our system, once we come to the point of water scarcity, then we are completely in big trouble, because everybody in this country needs water. On the average, each one uses about 50 liters of water a day, at least 50 liters of water a day. And if we don't take care and come to the point that we need to buy these 50, now what we may buy is possibly about the 20, about the 4 or the 3 liters of water that we need to drink. But if we come to the point of having to buy with that price that we put on the value of our bottled water we drink, if we don't take care and we need to come to the same point in the water we use to bath, water we use to flush our water, then we will be in a very big trouble. So that's why we are calling for this. Let every person in this country place the value that we need to place on water. And if we do that, we will use our water and it will be there for generations. It's about integrity and transparency. And I think these two words are actually missing in our society. And it is not surprise the way we treat our water. If we can deal with our water with that kind of integrity and with transparency, knowing that the water that we are using must stay the way it is for other generations to use. And I think this is so, and it is an attitude and a culture we need to develop as a people. If we are people of integrity and we are people who are transparent, then we can translate the same thing to our water bodies. But if we are not people of integrity, and I think this is a culture, something that we need to develop as a nation.
Thank you for watching Nation One TV. Kindly subscribe for more news updates.